What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time used book reseller, so I sell books primarily through Amazon. I do sell a little bit on eBay, but my main focus is sending my books into Amazon and letting them sell the books and deal with the shipping and customers for me. So today's video is going to be kind of an important one. It's kind of based around new Amazon sellers. I'm sure you've seen the title already, The Harsh Realities of Being a New Amazon Seller, and how you can basically counteract those and be smart about it when you're first starting out selling on Amazon. So let's get right on into it. Alrighty, so you're new to selling on Amazon. So I'm sure you've probably watched a million different videos and you see a million people making $1 trillion, but sometimes and all the time when you first start out, that's not the reality of Amazon. So I got 3 different kind of topic areas I'm going to cover: how they work, why it's a pain in the butt starting out on Amazon in that specific topic, and what you can do to kind of like make it easier on yourself starting out. So first one, very important, payment and selling. All right, so what's payment and selling? Payment is getting your first Amazon payment. So we all know Amazon has a really lenient return policy. So when you sell your first item, it's going to take at least 30 days from that point for you to get that money. So if you start today, if you were going to start selling today, I would not say go spend $10,000. I would say start out small. Let's build up the inventory and let's get to our first payment. And then we're going to be getting paid every 2 days, or every 2 days. I wish. Every 2 weeks. And you can continue to basically pump the cash you're making back into your business. So if you went out and spent that $10,000 today, even if the profit's $50,000, you're not going to see that for at least a month minimum. So I always recommend when you're starting out on Amazon, whether you're doing books or anything else, kind of start out slow and then ramp it up. Once you start getting the payments, then you can use that money to put back into the business, pay yourself, pay whatever bills you got, pay your credit cards, anything like that. Starting slow is important. I know we all want to run before we can walk, and yes, the possibility is there, yes, but we want to make sure that we're not spending too much capital up front if we don't have it, because it's going to take X amount of time to get that capital back. So getting paid, I know it's tough. That first one, waiting, some people have waited over 2 months to get their first payment. Amazon doesn't make it easy starting out, and it's kind of a good thing because it kind of gets all the people that are kind of flaky and scammy out of the way, because they don't want to jump through all the hoops that Amazon makes them jump through. All right, so this is also selling. So one thing with Amazon, the big thing with Amazon is having the buy box. So the buy box is basically when somebody goes to the page for the item you're selling and hits buy it now, you get the sale. So the way it works is you have to be buy box eligible. So starting out, you're not going to be buy box eligible. It's going to take, I've done a little bit of research. It's not like anything concrete. So nobody can say, hey, you can get the buy box within a week. Everything I looked up, it's 30, 60, or even up to 90 days. And that 90 days can be a long time, because if you don't have the buy box, your sales are going to be slow. So don't get frustrated. Now, what can we do to combat that? One easy solution: feedback. Okay, feedback is impossible to get. I wish I would have known this when I first started, because I'm pretty sure it took me like 5 months to get my first feedback. Luckily at the time, I did FBM, and you're kind of more inclined to get feedback through FBM from a random person than FBA. And feedback's tough to come by on Amazon, you all know that. So what would be my recommendation? You need at least 1 feedback. So if you get 1 feedback, it can speed up your buy box eligibility to that 30-day mark, and that's what we want to hit. So 1 feedback. You got any friends besides me? You got to have at least 1 friend besides me. So you find a book, 50-cent book, with a 0 e-score. Doesn't matter how much, whatever. You want to pay as low as you can. So you can either send it into Amazon through FBA and have them buy it, your friend or family member, and have them leave you a review. Or if you want to speed up the process, you could list it yourself, FBM, have them buy it, and leave you a 5-star review. So that's like a little kind of tip and trick I discovered over the time that will speed up your buy box eligibility and it's super easy to do. I wish I would have known this to begin with, because there really wasn't much information when I started out selling on Amazon. It was kind of just go with the flow. I didn't even know feedback had any kind of effect on your buy box eligibility or anything. So sell a book to a friend or family member. Pay them the $5 they paid for your book. Make sure they leave you a 5-star review. That one review is going to accelerate your buy box eligibility. So that's the first area covered. The long time it takes to get paid and buy box eligibility. So next up is going to be the learning curve, and that's Nico's fluffy tail. So with anything you start, it's going to take a while to learn the nuances, you know, like Amazon's completely different than what we're used to. You know, most of us are used to selling on eBay. Take a picture, list it, you know, you're basically done, ship it. But Amazon's a little different. The shipping process is completely different than anything we've dealt with, you know. It can be painstaking. The new workflow it's rough. It takes time to get used to, and it takes time to get quick with it. But don't get frustrated with yourself. With anything you start, it's going to be it's going to take time to learn and time to get efficient with it. So starting out, my first box, I'm not even lying when I say it took me at least 3 times to figure it out. And it probably took me 3 hours, if not more, to pack one box of books. And it's funny, me and Deb were talking about it because we were coming up with ideas for this video. And she said, that first day I packed that box, she was thinking to herself, there ain't no way this is going to work. Because it took me 5 hours to pack one box of books. So it's a learning curve. You got to be willing to not get frustrated and work within yourself and ask for help when you need it. And as you go, you'll be quick. You know, you'll be getting these boxes out super fast. So, learning the nuances. Steer clear. You don't want to go crazy with all this software and everything. You can try 1 or 2, but starting out, I would recommend using the seller app, because you're going to get to know the interface, understand how it works, things like that. And next thing is a nuance, is being gated when you're new. So what's gated mean? Gated means you can't sell something. So a lot of you new booksellers have been running into books being gated. When I started, that was never a thing. Sure, I was gated in like maybe Pearson and McGraw-Hill, but I see from multiple of you, guys and girls are gated in all kinds of different books. So it's frustrating, because when you're on your phone and you go, hey, request approval, and it says approved, and then you go to list it and it still says you're not approved. It sucks. It's a glitch in Amazon's system. So the way you counteract that, it's still going to take some time, is go on your PC and request approval for that book. All you have to do is add a product, type in the ISBN, and request approval on the PC, and it should automatically, you should get ungated in 24 hours. I know it's stupid. It's just one of those things. So you want to sell other categories. Well, you're going to have to find a legitimate supplier. So you can't just start selling Nike or Lego. Like, you have to find a supplier for that. Buy 10 of a specific SKU you're gated in. Use that invoice, submit it to Amazon, and then you'll be ungated in that category. So gating is another thing that can frustrate a lot of new sellers. But if you're just doing books, I promise you, over time, the beginning headaches are worth it. Over time, you'll automatically be ungated and everything. There's only weird, obscure authors and publishers I'm gated in anymore. So just bear with it. Get through the beginnings of, you know, having to go onto the PC and submit basically ungating requests for all these publishers. But Amazon just does it so that the riffraff stays off their platform. I mean, it makes sense. So that was the second one, learning the nuances. Number 3, the most important one, is follow the rules. Okay, so you see me, yeah, the used book guy used this fake invoice to get ungated in Nike. Okay, so it worked for me. I got approved. Now, should you go ahead and do the same thing that somebody else did that was against terms of service and it actually worked for them? No. No, no, no. So the way Amazon works is they don't play games. There ain't no like 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike policy. They will suspend you immediately, if not ban your account for good. I know, you know, there's a million YouTube channels, there's forums, there's Facebook groups, there's Discord groups. You see all this stuff that kind of seems like it's below the belt when it comes to doing certain things on Amazon. I would just avoid it. Do not risk losing your account over following somebody else's stupid idea that somehow got through the Amazon system and worked for them. So just focus on doing things the right way. Don't get suspended. Don't get banned. It takes time to build up your Amazon business. It's not as easy as the gurus make it out to seem. And starting out, it can be frustrating. That's why start out with a little bit of capital. Build it up until you start getting paid back from Amazon. Then you can ramp it up full speed and just keep reinvesting that money. And that's the best way to do it. Looking back, I went full-blown hardcore into books, and I didn't get paid, I think it was right around 60 days, maybe a little bit less. And it's frustrating because you know, you can find a lot of books and pump a lot of money into it. And imagine if you're doing something that's more expensive, you know, if you're doing arbitrage, like you could drop $1,000 in 5 minutes online. So those are the three, I would say, biggest, you know, harsh realities of starting out on Amazon. It's not all glitz and glam, you know, but there is ways to counteract that. So that's why I made this video. You get frustrated, you can do these things to make your life a little bit easier. So as always, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book videos. Bye-bye.